Hello and welcome to my thoughts on total drama characters from seasons 1 through 3. Mostly just the main cast, of course. I'm just going to do a quick review of the characters and then say a couple things about them at the end. So let's get to it. Chris McLean, otherwise the host of the show, who really just, he really is a complete jerk. I mean, he seems to love torturing everyone, making them suffer, and being happy about a dangerous and literally life-threatening challenge. But of course, due to cartoon physics, no one dies. So that's something. He is pretty good at what he does though, especially when he announces the title of the show within every episode. And these challenges, they are definitely interesting. All I can say is, yeah, he's a good host, but he is still a pretty big jerk. Chef Hatchet. If I'm being honest, he is definitely a great, what is he, a co-host? Despite the fact that most of the time he does cook, like, usually disgusting food. And he is very brutal and serious. He does happen to have a soft side. And he also has some nice dance moves. Although I feel like he appears less and less throughout the seasons. Otherwise, he's a funny character. Just a big, strong guy who just cooks and cooks and has like military experience. Throws out. He definitely hosted a few good deadly challenges as well. But yeah. Owen. He is a very big, funny guy. I mean, he might not be the smartest, but he definitely likes to leak a lot of gas. He's very humorous. He's a big guy. He's just very likable in general. Makes a lot of decent jokes. Seems like a good friend, and he did last for quite a while in in both in all of the seasons he played in. Season 1, he did make it to the end, and he did win. Season 2, he got out, went back in, got out again. Season 3, he mostly just went because Alejandro was annoyed with him. But yeah, despite not having much brains, he somehow seems to power through his challenges, especially since he has a huge appetite and a strong stomach. What a great guy. Duncan. What a great guy. In season 1, he really did seem like much of a deadly criminal brute. Although he apparently got Courtney into him, and he definitely liked bullying Harold a lot. He made it to the final four in season 1. In season 2, he did make it to the end and win, which is surprising, if I'm being honest, but hey, if he earned it, he earned it. Season 3, he definitely had a few love issues, but well, it is what it is. By the time it was season 5, at that point, he wanted to be evil, but he just simply wasn't, to the point where he couldn't even swear anymore. But he eventually did set it to back to being evil. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking straight. Val also wanted me to say an input. Here are her exact words. He may be a bad boy, but he has a soft side. He is an interesting character to me because he sure is a bad boy who went to juvie, but maybe he just had a rough childhood, and the way he acts out is to get attention. Maybe he didn't get as much love as a child, so I like his character for that reason. And I have to say, yeah, that definitely does go. So, Courtney. She is definitely a very fierce player, and she's very strong in general. But the only problem is her mental capacity and her bossiness. and being a BI. I mean, while she does claim to be a CIT, literally saying that like every 5 seconds. Well, not really. Once again, her weaknesses are her mental capacity, and other than that, she does admit to love getting into her way at one point in season 3, in which she thought she saw Duncan. But then, of course, she completely lost it when Duncan and Gwen got together. And that really just got her hate into both of them. And then she would just literally throw challenges on purpose, just to get Gwen out. And in season 5, she returned, and, well, she managed to make friends with Gwen and apparently fell in love with Scott. And Val wanted an input on Courtney too. She's nothing like Heather. Sure, she may be mean, but she is not as bad as Heather. She does care. She does have a soul. So to speak, she's basically the polar opposite of Heather. If that makes any sense, and that is why I like her character. Fair enough, Val. Fair enough. Heather. In season 1, she is exceptionally hateable, being absolutely rude to everyone, highly bossy, and just using everyone to her advantage. Until the final 3, where she practically got what she deserved, constantly getting torturous challenges and getting her head shaved, which was very satisfying. By season 2, she really couldn't do much, in which she even tried to assist her team in some ways, but she still went anyways. In season 3, she was really redeeming herself, being a lot nicer, a bit less bossy, but still very strategical, and even falling in love with Alejandro, which was very interesting, I must admit. And I do support that. In season 5, she seemed to be kind of in between. Like, in between her bossy state and her decent state. But, of course, I am too stupid to think right now. Gwen. She was definitely an interesting character. In season 1, she seemed very careless at first. Like, she didn't really care about much at all. Other than maybe Trent, despite a few things here and there, like being left buried alive for a few minutes. But she definitely played hard. She was very interesting, and she did reach the finale. In season 2, her problems with Trent was why she was eliminated relatively early on, which is a shame, because with the whole elimination thing, you can go simply because people don't like you, because you're too strong, or because you simply failed a challenge. Don't mind the overly loud dryer or washer outside my room. Very unfortunate. But, let's see. In season 3, she seemed to be kind of in between. She was definitely making friends with Courtney, but then by the time she and Duncan got together, that became a problem as well, in which she was being targeted for elimination. And that's why she went. In season 5, she really cared about being liked by her people around her, and was desperate to make friends with Courtney again, even if she had to throw her life on the line for it. But after a chart, Gwen just gave up on her entirely, and did make it to the final 4, but lost. All I can say is, I do really like her as a character. She definitely changed a lot throughout each season, and she's just a very nice character. Cody. In season 1, he was relatively decent. He wasn't the best for every challenge, but he did have a couple of good plays here and there. Especially, I'm mostly just thinking of the dodgeball one, where he literally made an automatic seeking dodgeball by rubbing it against his shirt. He does, I can't tell if he crushes for Gwen or simps for her, but either way, I do support him. He has dreams. Good for him. He didn't really make much appearance in Season 2. He left Season 1 because he was very heavily injured. In Season 3, he managed to nearly reach the end, but the thing is, he practically had to be dragged along by Sierrah the entire way while being molested by her, and I very much feel sorry for him. But he still did another few good plays here and there, and in the end, I really think the only reason he actually went down is so we could have the whole Heather Alejandro duo in the end. Either way, he's a good character. DJ. Despite being a very strong guy, he is a very sweet inside. He definitely very much cares for animals. He's just so nice. I mean, in Season 1, he only got booted because he simply ditched a chat, simply because he was apparently scared of Heather's hairy legs, as opposed to getting scared by Geoff. And I don't like the hair on my legs either. In Season 2, he got himself out simply because he was tired of kind of cheating on his teammates by helping Geoff and getting things done the easy way. He felt bad about it. In Season 3, he was practically cursed, just unintentionally hurting animals, and he just kept on wanting and wanting and wanting to go, until by the end when he thought he wasn't cursed, and then thought he was again, and kept messing up, he then went. But still, he's a nice guy. I feel sorry for him. Very nice. Izzy. She is absolutely insane. She's even a masochist. But she's so pain tolerant, it's confusing as to how she doesn't die. She knows quite a bit of things, and after getting crushed by a plane, she was just extremely smart to the point where she could claim she was building a donut making machine that could fit in your pocket. And that would be amazing. But of course, she went back to being insane. Her and Owen. Honestly, that was kind of cute. Although I feel like we didn't get enough of that. In Season 1, she got eliminated twice. First time because she couldn't stop talking and ended up helping the other team. Second time simply because she's just too insane. Then in Season 2, she once again went twice. And in Season 3, she kind of just left as to when she got very smart, but she's a very interesting but insane character. The things I will never understand in life. Especially people. Eva. She only made appearance in 3 episodes, excluding, of course, the aftermaths and a couple other things, but it's hard to have much to say about her. Let's see. She's very strong. She has anger issues, in which that's more or less why she went, in which after her music was taken away, she literally tore the cabin inside out. Well, not really. Then she returned and literally murdered an entire Sasquatch in a box. And they all voted her off simply because she was too strong. And admittedly, that's fair enough, but hard to have a depiction of her when she barely showed up. Harold. He can be a bit nerdy at times, and he seems to have a lot of association with things about someone named Steve, like, hey, Magic Steve's Magic Camp, stuff like that. He's definitely not the most skilled. He's very scrawny. He did do, just like Cody, did do a few good plays here and there. Seems to have a passion for Lashana, which I guess I'll give it to him, despite them being a very odd pair. I mean, just like Geoff said. Let's see. Season 1, he went very decently far. Season 2, he almost made it to the end. And in Season 3, he got himself out because he failed his team, even though he could have stayed in. A weird character, but a good character nonetheless. Beth. She seems like a very nice character. Season 1, she sadly had to be slave to Heather for a while, but eventually got through with it, and even threw against her. But unfortunately, after getting a cursed relic from Boney Island, it costed her team a victory, and that also costed her, which is why she went. Season 2, she actually made it to the end. And I have to admit, she did well. She's very nice. She seems like a very decent character. I don't know what else to say. I mean, she almost made it into season 3. Trent. He was a very decent character. Season 1, he seemed to mostly just have eyes for Gwen all the time, and he seemed to be a good friend to his teammates, especially the guys. But when Heather devised a plan to kiss him in front of Gwen unintentionally, and she got immunity, that's what costed him to go, sadly. But he and Gwen definitely made up. By season 2, once they were split onto different teams, that definitely set Trent into a very bad state. He was throwing challenges on purpose. He was practically just being a whiny simp, and I can't say I blame him. But that's why he went again, simply because of love issues. Throwing challenges on purpose. But hey, everyone, well, most people often have love issues, so. Noah. In season 1, he really didn't make much appearance. I mean, he was very unsupportive, not too helpful, and that's more or less why he went. Season 3, he was definitely doing a lot better. He was even friends with Owen. But unfortunately, just as he was starting to get interesting, he had to get voted off, and that missed out on a lot of potential for him, because he definitely seemed like a pretty interesting character by that point, but he just had to go. That's why I really can't say much about him. Justin. Yeah, he seems like a very decently attractive guy. He seems to take everyone just by his looks. Although, he really didn't make much appearance in season 1. He didn't even speak much either. He just tried to use his looks to his advantage, and went off in, episode 5? In season 2, he said he was going to make a comeback. So presumably he was supposed to be the antagonist of season 2, but I really didn't see much of one, and he didn't seem like it either. He tried using Beth to his advantage, but he eventually lost because he literally let Courtney beat him, and that's why he went. So, other than that, he seems to be very sensitive about his looks. I could care less about my looks. I just want to, remove all my body hair. And I don't want a mustache or beard either. That's all I can say. Katie and Sadie. They seem very overenthusiastic. They seem to be like best friends, despite they often argue from time to time. They're a bit screechy and very fangirlish. They were a bit annoying to me, and I can't say I saw too much character out of them, since they really only appeared in one season and said like a few things in the aftermaths, but meh. Ezekial. He was eliminated first in both seasons 1 and season 3. In season 1, he was a bit sexist, and that's why he went. In season 3, he just kept messing up entirely. Messed up in the songs, lost the artifacts, and he was so annoying that even Chris didn't even want him there at all. But then he practically just slowly turned insane, and eventually really just became Gollum in a way. He seemed to have a lot of oversized toxic animals on his side during season 4, and he definitely played a part in episode 100 during season 5. I don't know, I mean, his whole timeline was very, very strange, but it's funny in a way. He is a pretty interesting character. Lindsay. I don't know if she has short-term memory loss or something, but sometimes I feel like she is just too stupid. I mean, she even keeps forgetting who her boyfriend Tyler is every 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. She was relatively decent. She got through quite a bit in season 1 until Heather just shut her out. And by then, she realized Heather was using her and literally just sweared at her a ton. In season 2, she almost made it to the finale. And that kind of makes sense since it was like action and she's all fashion. She's like a fashion person and stuff. In season 3, she went because she failed her whole fashion thing. But I really don't know what all to say about her. Tyler. He seems like a very athletic guy, except he simply sucks. He just messes up with everything. But he does have very, very strong fingers in which he broke a piano and became an athlete. But those fingers were apparently strong enough to hold up his entire team on a toxic sled on an iceberg or an ice bridge that was broken. So I'll give him credit for that. Despite how stupid Lindsay can be, he does seem determined to win her over. But I don't know, I just feel sorry for the guy. He kind of sucks. Hey, he's still there at least. Lashana. Definitely a very, very good character. I mean, she's just fun in general. Definitely very interesting against Heather in season 1. In season 2, when she lied to her whole team just to get a reward, that definitely threw things off a bit. And in season 3, when she started slapping Heather, it would have been more enjoyable earlier because by then, Heather was seeming to be more redeemed a bit. And more, how do I put it? Either way, she was definitely a good character. In season 1, her elimination was simply stupid. Literally because they decided the losers could vote who goes next, and everyone was accidentally saying Lashana. Even a parrot said Lashana twice, and it counted. It was just stupid. In season 2, she mostly went because of her whole lie to everyone. And in season 3, she went because of Alejandro. And he was playing a lot of girls by then, but either way, she's a very interesting character. I should be saying more, but I'm too stupid to think right now. Bridget. In season 1, she seemed to be very helpful and supportive of her teammates. She ended up getting eliminated because it was 4 guys against... Wait, hold on. 3 guys against 4 girls, I believe. And they had to vote off someone. And they picked off her, but I'm sorry, I seem to forget my facts here. But when she went, I'm too stupid to think. Then in the Aftermath show, she was definitely the kinder side of things, trying to be more decent. And she even tamed a bear. Season 3, when she returned, she was decent from the start, but once again, like Lashana, went because of Alejandro. I am really bad at these videos. Geoff. Season 1, he seems like a nice guy. He seemed to be very, very into Bridget, although he might have rushed things a little bit. He definitely tried to help his teammates to the best of his abilities, and I just remembered now, it was 6-on-4. 3 votes for one boy, 3 votes for another boy, and then 4 boys voted against Bridget. But Geoff was kind of forced to there. And then when he was the host of the Aftermath show, he was a bit of a jerk about it. Mostly in Season 2. In Season 3, he was definitely a bit more decent. I don't have much else to say about him. Sierrah. She's a huge Total Drama fan, apparently, with a huge blog and whatnot. Seemingly knowing nearly everyone. She has a freakishly huge obsession with Cody, and it's worse than my Kara obsession, which I will not go into detail of. But she's definitely a bit insane about Cody. I mean, she practically carries him throughout the entire season, while also practically molesting him, taking his toothbrushes and using them herself. Just the things she does is weird. Especially the power she has when she wants to do something for Cody. But eventually that backfired on her in the end, in which literally exploding the entire plane because of cake candle sparks for Cody's birthday hit some oil and destroyed the entire plane, also taking away her immunity and Chris instantly removing her. When she returned in Season 5, she apparently mistook Cameron for Cody and even saw him as Cody. But she went off a bit earlier when she failed to fight a mutant double rat. She is freakishly obsessed and insane, but I guess that's what makes her a decent character. Alejandro. Boy, was he a good villain in Season 3. He was so strong and strategical and charming, it just played out all so perfectly, in which he could play girls like strings on a banjo. If that's how I want to put it, but he could even charm animals to his advantage. Although, he seemed to have a thing for Heather, just as she did for him, and that was definitely very cute. But being very charming, having a lot of flattery for others, other than, of course, being annoyed by a few things, such as being called Al, because of course, his brother, who he did get to beat down on in Season 5. Especially after his brother, and like said, Heather was unattractive, and that just set him off. But he's definitely he does have some standards. He's still a very good villain, and honestly, I don't think I would stand a chance against him. He probably would have fooled me into a lot of things. Probably because I'm a bit sensitive about keeping my friends intact, so having one who just is very flattering and seemingly very kind, yeah, that would definitely work against me. But either way, he's a good villain. Very good. With all that being said, I know some of this might have sucked, not knowing what to say and all. But either way, I do enjoy this show, and I'll do the Season 4 characters sometime soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Then I'll do Pakatu Island after that. But thanks for watching. See you in the next video.